How did the flat Earth theory first become a part of your life?
Well, I've always been into conspiracy theories. Ever since I was probably like 13 or 14, I just started looking into JFK.
We choose to go to the moon.
The moon landing being a hoax, which it certainly was. Why would they fake the moon landing? I knew there was something about Antarctica, that like Hitler was really interested in Antarctica, but then they just kind of sanctioned it off with the Antarctic Treaty, and I was like, why is all that? And I started looking into it further. I actually studied physics in college. If I don't make any assumptions, what can I assert from the laws of physics? And it turns out what we call laws, which are not laws, they're just theories: heliocentric theory, Big Bang theory, macroevolution, Darwinian evolution theory, and they didn't really have scientific evidence. But then they started teaching us this as fact in school. We all want to believe that we live in a good, wholesome world where people don't lie, where we're not lied to since birth, and that everything we learn in school is correct. And people just want to believe that. And I certainly would have liked to believe that. NASA got somewhere in the order of $60 billion back in '69 to go to the moon. They've been continuing to get, I think they were getting $40 billion a year up until recently. Now they're only getting $20 billion. All the math doesn't lie. The heliocentric theory states that the Earth is a ball that has a curvature of 0.666 feet per mile squared. There's a lot of cases where if you see, across a lake that's 50 miles, and you can see the city and most of the buildings, and you shouldn't be able to. They should be down hidden behind a curvature. Is the Earth moving? I mean, our common sense is that it's not. Our common sense is that we're stationary.
You wouldn't necessarily feel emotion, right? Like I don't feel like I'm moving when I'm in a plane because the entire plane is moving through the air.
Unless that plane goes up, goes down, or turns. You could throw a ball in a plane that's just moving straight and it would fall back in your hand. But if that plane starts turning, that ball is going to fly the opposite direction. The heliocentric theory doesn't state that the Earth is just moving in a straight line. It states that it's on a ball rotating like this as it rotates around the sun, as the sun rotates around the galaxy rotates around the universe, and we're literally going millions of miles an hour right now, according to the heliocentric model. Not only that, but there's counter-rotating forces. So what we should experience is centrifugal force should be increasing, decreasing, increasing, decreasing. The universe is sort of magical. There's a magical quality to it because that's unexplainable by physics. So instead of actually applying empirical science, where we're observing, okay, is the Earth moving? Well, we can use an interferometer to determine whether it is, and it doesn't seem to be. So instead of just admitting that, what they did was they said, well, let's think of some math that can kind of explain what's happening here while we still hold on to this assumption that the Earth is a spinning ball moving through space.
I understand that there's probably some trickery, there's some dishonesty with the United States space travel. But I've seen a ship go into space. I've seen it leave the Earth, and I've watched it, at Cape Canaveral. There has been space travel, right?
Did you see a ship go into space, or did you just see it go off into the distance? Did it go straight up, or did it go an angle? That's because it's following that, that parabola. All rockets do that. They follow that curve, and then they go back into the ocean.